would you measure, for example, ROI of the communication skills training? When it comes to measuring the return on investment of soft skills training, things are not that easy to measure. Hello everyone, it's Lisa. Welcome to my channel where I'll be helping you to become better at developing yourself and your team in the hospitality industry. If you're a young HR learning and development or operations enthusiast, you will benefit by subscribing to this channel. I value your time, so the timestamps will be down below in the comments. And in this video, I would like to share how you can increase the return on investment of the soft skills training with limited time and budget. So let's start with training ROI and why it is important. What is the return on investment? It is the return that your business gets based on the resources that you have invested. What usually you can invest? It is usually time and financial resources. The time you need to find a supplier for your training if you're using an external one. The time that you spend on informing everyone that, hey guys, that there is a training happening. And of course, you need to consider the time that people spend on the training instead of being at work. Financial resources usually include the training fee if you're going with the third party, some catering, the training props, and list goes on. So what is the return that you get on soft skills training? The return usually includes development of new skills, attitudes, behavior that you and your business needs. The return can also include increase of efficiency, productivity, reduced costs, better utilization of the resources that your business has. So why it is important to think about ROI when planning any training activity? Well, it's because as with any other aspect of your business, when you invest your time, money, and effort, you want to see what kind of benefit you will get from it, right? The ROI is going to tell you whether you have made a good choice or not a very good one. Why it is difficult to measure the ROI of soft skills training? It's relatively easy to evaluate ROI of technical or safety training rather than soft skills training. It is a technical training, it is about, for example, how to use a certain program. Then you will measure the return by the number of confident users that you have after the training. If it is safety related training, you can always compare the number of safety incidents that you have before and after the training, and if you see an improvement, that means the training was good. When it comes to measuring the return on investment of soft skills training, things are not that easy to measure. So how would you measure, for example, ROI of the communication skills training? Communication is something that is not easy to measure. This day video is not necessarily about how to measure the ROI of soft skills training, but rather how to increase and prolong the impact of soft skills training with limited time and budget. So let's focus on that. If you're interested on how to measure the ROI of any soft skills training, let me know in the comments so I can create a video about it. What are the limitations of having face-to-face or Zoom training only? For the purpose of this video, let's take an example of delegation skills. Let's say you have a department in your organization, which could be front office, food and beverage, housekeeping, and you have a department head who has 4 supervisors reporting him or her, and he or she wants your supervisors to delegate better. And the department head is asking you to organize delegation skills training either by a third party or with the help of internal resources. Face-to-face or Zoom training are great, but mostly they are about creating awareness about the subject. The exception could be if all your participants are highly motivated, independent self-learners who require zero or very little supervision. Most of the time, this is not the case, and you need to create a journey to help people develop a new set of skills, and this usually doesn't happen overnight. So where do we start and what should we do? Do we cancel face-to-face training? No, don't do it. Here is your plan to improve return of investment of any soft skills training. Number one, you need to create awareness about the topic before face-to-face session. It could be in the form of reading a book, articles, or online learning. For free online courses, I would recommend checking alison.com. They have decent online free courses. If resources and budget allows you, get LinkedIn Learning for 1 month. It's totally worth it. Now, if your business has learning management system that has courses on this particular topic, use them. The idea is to give the very basic content that doesn't require a lot of explanation. If there is a quiz or knowledge check in the end of the course, great. If not, you can create your own in quizzes or in Kahoot. By doing this, you can cut 1/3 of your time from face-to-face training, and I think this is a great benefit. Now, give people from 1 week to 1 month to complete online learning, depending on how much time you have and how long the course is. Number 2, host meaningful face-to-face session. Now, if you plan for 8 hours of training, now it becomes 5 or 6 because you have some basics covered during the online course and you can simply remove them from your face-to-face session. Now, have a look at your training content and ask yourself, what is in my training nice to have and what is in my training is must to have. Reduce nice to have category by 50%, especially the presentation slides. I wouldn't suggest cutting any group activities, discussions, games, simulations, as people learn the best and the most when they involved in the learning rather than by passively listening or reading something. After 2 previous exercises that we have, the 8-hour session becomes 4 hours training. During these 4 precious hours, discuss the most challenging and contradicting ideas. How should you conclude the training session for the maximum result? Ask participants to share 5 things that they would do differently from now onwards. 5 big takeaways from this training. Ask them what was the biggest aha moment for them during this session, and ask them for 3 things that they will implement from now onwards with the next 1 month. It will also make sense to put their development plan on paper or in the Word document in the form of smarter goals. Smarter goals are specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, emotional, and rewarding. The manager of the employee should be informed about the plan and he or she should have a copy so the manager can support the person during employee development journey. If employee and manager have weekly or monthly one-on-one schedules, this plan should be part of the discussion points. This plan should not lie somewhere on the shelf, okay? Last point on the face-to-face training session. Inform attendees that after 3 months, they're going to have a 2 hours post-training reflection session, which we will talk about it just in a minute. Number 3, practice. So when face-to-face session is done, now it's time to apply what your employees have learned. For any skill development and behavior change, you need a minimum of 3 months. If you are HR or learning and development in charge in your business, I would formally check at least once in a month with each training attendee about how their course is going, how their delegation is going, and what challenges they are facing. In this way, you also remind the person to practice skills that they have learned. Doing something new most of the time involves feeling uncomfortable, and this is not something that many of us are excited, right? So support and guidance are vital. Finally, number 4, reflection session. Many times people just do things without analyzing and reflecting back on what has been done before and what could have been done differently. A reflection session is an open discussion about attendees' experience in applying a new set of skills. Benefits of reflection session. By sharing experiences, participants will learn from each other. Participants reflect on their delegation experience, they analyze their mistakes, and they move forward with better clarity. There is a set of reflective questions that you need to think for any soft skills training reflection session. Just for the purpose of this video, I would like to share a set of reflective questions for the delegation skills training. Number one, how did a delegation chart with your subordinate go? Number two, how did the subordinate feel about the delegated task? What made you think so? Number three, how would you rate your overall satisfaction with the delegated task from 0 to 100%? What were the obstacles that you faced during a delegation project? Did the subordinate make a few mistakes on the way? If yes, how did you handle them? Number six, what went well during the task delegation? Number seven, what went not so well during task delegation? What could be a reason for that? What did you learn from it? And number eight, how will you continue your journey on developing your delegation skills? And so on. I would keep this session not more than 2 hours unless you have more than 10 participants. If you have more, divide them into groups so everyone has at least 10 minutes to speak. And this is it for today. If you are interested how to create a learning culture at your workplace, you can check my previous video here. Please let me know in the comments what are your challenges when it comes to the ROI of soft skills training. I would like to know how can I support you better. Thank you very much for watching this video. I hope you really enjoyed, and if you did, please give it a thumbs up and make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel. If you would like to see more of the similar content, please check and follow my Instagram channel, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye bye.